we've got to just come to a place, if we truly are going to be untamed and we truly are going to identify the drift of life, we come to a place of saying it's okay for all of us to not be okay. It's okay for me to not be okay.
Yeah.
But it's not okay for me to stay that way.
Right.
And to share that with others that care about me, that are asking about me.
Yeah.
Are you okay? And also begin to have a simple dialogue with God and say, God, I just don't feel okay in my life right now because of this.
Right.
I feel like I'm off because of this.
Yeah, well, you're talking about, I mean, when I'm looking at this story here, and it's such a good illustration of what we go through, a metaphor for life, because in life, something happens, you know, like we set out on an adventure, you know, it's the scuba diving thing, the whole deal, but then there's a crisis or whatever it is, and we focus on that. And now that's natural, and oftentimes that crisis is something that we actually really have to pay attention to because it's critical. Yeah. You know, something is really going to fall apart, just like him underneath the water. He's got to remember that he's got to keep that regulator and he's got to keep the air flowing. But it is like that in life. When the crisis happens, you take your eyes off of the surrounding. You fixate on something, and that's when we lose sight of the current. And I think it's so important that right off the bat, your whole story started with, this is a drift dive. You guys acknowledge the current right off the bat. Yeah. And when you started talking about at the end there, you know, your circumstance where people have come to you at times in your life and said, hey, Mark, what's going on? What about this? And you said it's sometimes there's a failure to acknowledge, you know, the reality of what's actually happening, who you are, the situation you're putting yourself in, etc. But I think it's so critical in order for us to become untamed people so that our true essence comes to the surface and we live an unfettered life, a life that we were truly made for, that we've got to acknowledge that there's a current.